Imagine working the same job as another, but only making 79 cents to that person's dollar. Why? Because the other person was the opposite sex. This is the reality women face in the workplace. Since the beginning of time, women have been undervalued. Despite the many efforts to publicize and combat this problem, women still face inequalities in the workplace every day. In an online article on learnhowtobecome.org by experts Julie Halunga and Ginny Brozina, they state that the difference between men and women's median earnings was $10,762 annually as of 2015, with the difference widening after accounting for advanced levels of experience and education, showing that the gender gap is real and harmful to the women's economic security. Although awareness has been raised for this issue, much more work remains to close the gender gap. In this speech, I would like to share the importance of this issue, steps to combat this problem, as well as how eliminating the gender gap will improve the workplace as well as the nation. The gender gap is an ever-present issue in the workforce that over the years has stalled, meaning that although some progress has been made, true gender equality has still not been met. Gender equality is linked to sustainable development and is vital to the realization of human rights for all. Men and women should have the same opportunities and treatment in all aspects of life. Now women all over are feeling the effects and struggling to provide for not only themselves but their families as well. According to an online article on businessnewsdaily.com, co-founder and CEO of Canaries Inc., Mandy Price states, "It is disconcerting to see that even though the business community is well aware of the benefits of a diverse workforce, such as innovation, employee retention, and increased financial returns, there is still a lack of progress in closing the gender gap," showing that although companies are aware of this issue, they are not taking any steps to help stop it or prevent it. If the gender gap persists, then discrimination and inequalities women face in the workplace won't end but grow. Men and women will continue to be divided, and it will show in how a company is run. Legal changes aside, there are steps everyone can take to create a better work culture. Some steps that can be taken include building diversity in companies' core values, being transparent when it comes to pay and hiring, as well as giving women access to external networks. Once we start moving in the right direction, we then can begin to break down these barriers that divide men and women. According to an online article on the United States of Women.org, empowering women, improving their representation and participation in all walks of life, but particularly in the male-dominated world of politics and business, is a vital step in undertaking poverty, underdevelopment, unemployment, civil unrest, and so on. So by taking the initiative and consistently being thoughtful with your words and actions, change will happen. We need to bridge the gap, and it starts with each one of us. Once this mindset is adopted, one can expect to see a change in companies' productivity, morale, along with fair treatment for all employees no matter the gender. One must remember the gender gap does not hurt only women, it hurts everyone. A country's progression and economic competitiveness relies heavily on its education and workforce. So in closing the gender gap and giving those equal opportunities to both men and women, you would build a diverse and inclusive workforce. This has been proven to lead to greater employment engagement, innovation, financial returns, and market share. The consequences of making these changes are only beneficial for us as individuals as well as the country. So I ask you, why not get involved? There are a variety of ways you can help. Pledge your support to one of the many movements created to put a stop to the inequalities women face, such as the movement created by the UN called He for She. Do your research and donate to charities who are fighting for fairness and equality, such as the American Association of University Women. If you see something discriminatory, report it. Change starts with each of us. There are many organizations and charities that need your support. You just have to get involved. In summary, the gender gap is an ever-present problem, in not only our nation, but across the globe. This issue doesn't just hurt women, but everyone. In order to achieve true equality, steps must be taken to end this divide between men and women. There is nothing but benefits from closing the gender gap. Businesses run better and are made up of a diverse and inclusive workforce with equal opportunities and growth for all, while our nation progresses with a stronger and more competitive education and labor force. So join the cause and get involved. Change starts with each of us, and by supporting movements, donating to charities, and just being more thoughtful with your words and actions, change can and will happen.